Hi, Elaine here. Today I'll be sharing how to create custom picture frames to create a great layout. I'm using an article layout to show this technique. So the file is A4, it's a 2-page spread, and I'm going to start by using the pen tool to create a custom picture frame. What's custom about it? The shape. Now we have 2 dedicated picture frame tools already. The picture frame rectangle tool and the picture frame ellipse tool. This shape is going to be completely different though. My first step is to add a guide at the 50mm mark on my page. Then I need the pen tool and I'm going to draw this custom shape. And while that's it, I am going to give it a fill just so we can actually see it. One thing I'm going to do is change this point in the middle, which at the moment is the default sharp, and I'm going to change it to smooth. And that's it, that's my custom shape. But I'm not stopping there. So back to the move tool, and with my shape selected, I am going to duplicate it, so Command and J, and there it is. I'm also, as well as duplicating it, going to flip it vertically, and then position it at the bottom of the spread. So it's mirroring the top shape, it's just at the bottom of the page. At this stage, it's just a shape. I could put an image inside it, but because it's not a dedicated picture frame, I wouldn't have the dedicated picture frame tools. Because of that, what you can do is right-click and select to convert to picture frame, and that would indeed convert it to a picture frame, but it has only done that with the top shape. I could do it with the bottom shape, but I would end up with 2 picture frames. That's not the effect I'm looking for here at all. So I'm going to undo that. The trick is to select the first shape, hold the Shift key down and select the second. They're still 2 totally separate shapes at this point. But we have Boolean Operations available. Mine is showing on the toolbar, and the one that I need is Add. And that has taken those 2 curves and now made them a single curve. So I'm going to undo that and do it again so you can see it. But in the layers panel, notice there's 2 curves, but when I add them together, there is now a single curve that is comprised of both original curves. At this point, if I right click and convert to picture frame, instead of having the cross in the top half, we can see the cross goes all the way through both shapes there. The next step is to add an image from a file, and I have an image that I want to use. Dragging that over the top of my custom picture frame, I get this message about the image placement policy because I have elected to embed the image data, and this file is quite large, but at the moment I'm quite happy to embed it, so I'm not going to accept that suggestion there. And you can see it's put the picture in there, but it's only showing where the original shapes were, which was the top and the bottom. As promised though, this has the tools that a dedicated picture frame has. In the middle, we can move the image. We can also scale the image at the bottom here. And then we see different parts of that image in our picture frame. Now I'm going to undo that. I just want it placed originally as it was. You could leave it there because what you've got in the middle is a place to put your text. But I'm not going to leave it there. No. Right, I'm going to use a dedicated picture frame rectangle. And I do want this to be the full size of the page. So this isn't a custom one, this is a standard one. It's just exactly the same size as my 2-page spread. What I'm going to do with this is add a second copy of the same image. So again, dragging and dropping it in from my Finder. And again, confirming that no, I know what I'm doing, go away. That is the full image. Now at the moment, it's sat at the top of the layer stack. What I need to do with it is put it behind my custom picture frame. It doesn't actually look any different, but if we toggle off what I've just added, you can see we do still have the custom picture frame. Now turning that back on, I can show you that we've got exactly the same options we had before. We could move it, we could scale it, but that is not what I'm intending to do with it. What I'm intending to do with it is add an adjustment. So with it selected, going down to my adjustments here, and I'm choosing the black and white adjustment. and I'm going to move the top 3 all the way to the right, and that will do nicely. Making sure I've got the entire layer selected, I'm going to change the opacity of the whole layer down to 25%, which gives me a nice backdrop for the text for this article. And we could, again, leave it there, but I don't intend to. What I want to show you is that the custom picture frame that we created way back at the beginning of this remains editable. So if I activate the node tool, which is the A key, we can see that smooth point that I had created. And if I drag this down, everything still remains editable. In terms of we're changing the custom shape, but because there is a second copy of it behind it, we're adjusting which parts of it are black and white. And we can go one better than that, because even if I were putting text on here and I'd created a custom shape for the left and the right, I probably wouldn't have any text going across the middle. So what I can do with that is, using the rectangle tool, draw a rectangle out that covers the area that wouldn't have any text in it. I know it doesn't look great. Give me a moment. With that new shape selected, and holding the Shift key down and selecting the custom shape, which is the coloured bit at the top and the bottom, if I then use the Add Boolean Operation, it takes the rectangle and makes it part of our custom frame. So we've changed the original custom shape to include that new area. And that is how you can create any custom shape you need for imagery in your article layouts. Let's have a quick recap. I created a custom shape. I used the Boolean add operator to create a compound shape. Then I converted that shape to a picture frame. Next, I added an image. And if you want to get clever, you can add a second copy of the image and apply an adjustment or a special effect to it. I applied a black and white adjustment and I reduced the opacity to 25%. And finally, you can edit the custom picture frame using more Boolean operations if you need to. If you want new tutorials and tips and tricks on a regular basis, check out my free training at elainegiles.com/VIP. Hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss future tutorials. And if you have any requests for specific tutorials, be sure to contact me. I would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching and see you next time.